people dance to the song, eh? So fix your clothes. Come on. Ba-ba-da-ba. You guys dance, you know? I hear hopes I see show here am I. I said, who you calling by me? I see Robin Gopal and Vasley. Rankila one sing and Dolce. Bagwan didn't sing crying like a baby. Ram sing Thomas and Sankarali. I dreamt I met these 9 men on that road. They tell me, tell the public in case they go. They say he did pay we to kill Errol Spencer. He did pay we to talk to Escobar. All them drug money we give UNC. You know they come back and arrest the hangman on we. They did pay we more than 90,000 to get rid of Selwyn Richardson. But now he controls the law, so you ring the bell. But we're waiting for him, but be sure he coming in hell. And we go grab it. And we go stab it. We waiting patiently to get in trouble. We go choke his penis with a needle. And we go lock him. Get man no Benjamin to. All them wicked things they're planning to do, because they say they sure you did kill people too. I jump out my bed like a madman when I hear the information. I pick up my pen and say, Crow, you have to put this in Kaiser. But then I study slander and I study libel because they mention the attorney general. But then I tell myself, Crooks, you slate clean, cause you're simply reporting a dream. They say he did pay we to shoot and kill his head. He did pay we to make sure Orwin King dead. He is one of the most wicked men that we know, responsible for more than half the men in death row. He did tell we if we kill Clint Hawkins someday, he assure we bound to get away. But now we get big and swell, so you ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in hell. And we go woo him. And we go screw.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ball for weekdays and nights. Then we go know the wrong things for human rights. And we go pull him. Then we go.
How are we doing this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, right now?
They go do, because they say they sure you did kill people.
You're tuned into the Class in Session program. It is another wonderful day in Grenada, Carriacou, PD Martinique. Where are you? What are you doing?
They say, Crooks, we know we do plenty, but Crooks tell the public for we. Tell them that we...
Good evening to the persons that are already on my YouTube page.
Family.
Patsy Frank, Alban Harris, Baby Daddy, how are you, man? Agnes Henry, Gemma Warwood, and Caitlin Lendell.
You know, you be careful with the chief, because the Apola is worse than the thief. He defend we when PNM was there, soon as they slip.
Sydney Thomas, I see that you're signed in.
Since the day,
I'm with 19 other persons who didn't say anything as yet.
jacket and tie, now, them was
Good evening.
girl they find dead in the car, trunk by God City. Crooks tell the public, we know it.
To the persons out there in the diaspora,
Well, he cannot
especially the United States.
for him. He show you.
Oh, what a weather you guys are having today.
Him. And he go him. All the wrong things he do, he's bound to regret. He ought to know that there is life after death, and we go vibes him,
This is the voice of Weston Rollins.
size him,
Crow. This one called Dolce di Se.
and make him do, because they say they sure you did kill people.
Nail-biting commentary coming out there from Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen. I want to officially welcome every one of you again to this wonderful occasion. Somebody saying because of the time difference, I can't always tune in. Sydney Thomas, whenever you can, we welcome you to the classroom. We realize, and I didn't mention it last week, but since last week you realized that the background or everything would have changed. We're actually inside of the classroom right now. You understand me? You actually get that classroom setting right now. So don't don't worry. You are now inside of the classroom. Welcome to the Class in Session program. I am yours truly, Royalty James. It is 8 minutes past the hour 6, 5 minutes past the hour 6, right? And today being the 13th day of February, all right? Today was mostly sunny, and I hope it continues for the rest of the evening. Share the live right now. Let somebody know that Royalty James is on. We are again going to have some social and political conversations. I hope that you are tuning and you're ready to have that dialogue and listening to the information that is going to be disseminated this afternoon. Blessed evening to the persons, especially today out there in St. Mark's. You know, I have St. Mark's to my heart, right? It is my hometown, and so is my place of birth. So I want to say good evening to everybody out there in St. Mark's. All right, blessed evening to you guys, and we want to say good and thank you from the parliamentary office. We want to say thank you guys for showing up last week at the Bradford Fest out there at the Victoria Hard Court. It was a wonderful experience. Many persons are asking for an encore, but however, you know, when you do too much of one thing, sometimes people will get boring. You know what I mean? So we would again make it an annual event, and so it's going to be a yearly event, and ever so often we are going to try doing events that would intrigue persons within the community. All right, so wherever you're listening from this afternoon, we want to say a pleasant good evening to you. A pleasant good evening to you, Miss Marilyn Ferguson. Good evening to you. Okay, I know you're normally on Facebook and YouTube and WhatsApp. You're all over, right? One of my good students. All right, so good evening to the persons out there in Carriacou and PT Martinique. We know for the past few days you were having a fun time. We pray that you all would have had, and so we want to say that as it trickles down with just about 6 hours left, I pray that you all would have enjoyed Kayak Mass 2024. All right, and as we get ready to enter into Kayak Mass for 2025, I hope it would be bigger and better. But however, ladies and gentlemen, there is a summer event that happens here in Grenada, Spice Mass 2024. I know it would be thrilling. All right, don't forget the persons out there in the diaspora. You all can visit and enjoy the beautiful tropics. All right, this morning we would have had the two of our vibrant women within the new National Party being on a program this morning, and so the parliamentary representative, Mrs. Emmeline Pear, and Mrs. Kate Skeeter Lewis, they both were on a program this morning. I pray that many of you all would have taken a listening. You know, these two women are not first timers, and so they did give some information this morning, and showing that the information that is disseminated is one that is welcoming. You realize that they kept their respect and their fortitude as any person should in the whole program. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we want to say hats off to these two wonderful women in their deliberations this morning. But however, ladies and gentlemen, I think that, you know, in getting into conversation now, and I'm going to read one of the excerpts from Facebook. And I remember this is not the first time I'm doing this, and this is not the first time I'm going to be speaking about this PSC, Public Service Commission. You all are allowing the horse to go. Somebody saying that I need a haircut. Yeah, I gotta shape up. Definitely the next program you guys wouldn't see me like that. Definitely, I promise you. All right, PSC, you guys need to shape up. The involvement of public servants getting involved, and not just getting involved, getting disrespectfully involved, especially on the social media platform, is becoming overbearing now. And so maybe if we were at the end of the day speaking of a first time incident or a first time person then we would have let it fly. But I'm going to today, and I'm hoping that I get the first name right. However, she's a Joseph, right? It is to my attention that she is part of the Ministry of Health. I think she's a nurse or something like that. Ms. Joseph, let me say this openly, ladies and gentlemen. The Public Service Commission, somebody saying that I'm a bit lower. I'm hoping that I'm coming in a little bit better now. Let me say this. I was part of the public service for a long time, 12 years to be precise. And the public service, or as a public servant, your opportunity or the chance given to support a political party is your constitutional rights. That I must say. It is okay as a public servant to support whoever political party that you so wish. What it says specifically, however, is making public statements and gesticulations, wearing party colors, and so on and so forth, is what gives you no whatsoever right to be part of. So as a public servant, it is important to know that the Constitution, as a citizen of the state, you are allowed to support any political party. What it does not allow you to do is be openly involved in political affiliation. And so on Facebook, this, and I'm hoping that I want to get the name right, Nickel Joseph person. You've actually seen photographs of the person. One, in party colors during the election campaign. Two, persons are actually pointing out Facebook comments and statuses in whereby Miss Joseph continues to not just be affiliated, but disrespectful in terms of not understanding her role and function as a public servant. Now, if you don't know, it is not that the Public Service Commission is saying to you that you doesn't have the right to do this, meaning to support a political party. But it's saying that it would clog your judgment in case of the area that you are in. And in Miss Joseph's case, in being a nurse. Miss Joseph may knowingly believe to herself, well, he does be on program talking about NDC. So if he's at the general hospital or any medical facility and I have to attend to him, I will not. You see, we're not saying that you're going to actually do it. But hence the reason why when the Public Service Commission made the regulations, they gave not the ability to support who you want, but to not do it publicly. And so, the same thing if a police officer in himself is openly supporting a political organization and he has to tomorrow arrest somebody of the other side, he would do it without judgment. May do it vaguely, we do it out of anger. We do it to the fact that, hey, he doesn't support in this side I support. And so somebody posed that, and I would try my best not to read certain things that they wrote. And they said, Joseph, you sit down almost middle of the day making confusion on the GBN to the point programmer. Well, let us tell you, both Emmeline Pear and Kate Louise Peters are accomplished ladies and they did their job as MPs. Where is your dignity and pride to show the world. Classlessness. PSC needs to crack down on, and they call her a name, like yourself and others who use the system under political disguise. The disgusting behavior you have exhibited over the last 20 months, you hear that, is unbecoming of some in the nursing profession. Check Emlyn Pay and Kate Lewis, record both married, qualified, whatever you go on, so on and so forth. Right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not bashing an individual. And I want you to understand that. We can't hate an individual for supporting a political organization. It is your right to support. But within the public service, ladies and gentlemen, the public service speaks distinctly as it relates to what a public servant can do and cannot do when it comes to political affiliation and political affiliates. Your hands are basically tied. As a police officer, I was a bad NNP. But there were things I should not have been doing. There were things I was not doing. But in my little circle around my friends, they knew I supported the New National Party. They knew that. So whenever Tillman Thomas or Nazim Bok or whomever was speaking, you won't finding me on the press conferences and making statuses disrespecting the office or disrespecting them as individuals. Sometimes something will become, public, and you may make a little joke or a meme on it on Facebook or so on and so forth. You can't, and the Public Service Commission, listen to me, this, ladies and gentlemen, it goes on because I think somebody else, and I think somebody did it like a Facebook post, and I hope I get it, whereby they wrote a letter. Okay, yes. Here is it, and I hope I could go through it with you all listening. Please bear with me for a while. All right. They say urgent report of misconduct, and they spill out the staff nurse at the General Hospital to the chief personnel officer. I hope this letter reach you in good health and spirit. I am writing today to express my deep concern regarding the conduct of your esteemed staff member, and they called out a name, a staff nurse under jurisdiction of the Public Service Commission. All right. It is with great dismay that I must bring to your attention a recent incident that has caused significant distress within the community. Ms. Joseph's recent activity on social media platform, particularly a Facebook post, has not only deeply troubled but also highly inappropriately an offense. In the post, Ms. Joseph resorted to making unwarranted and malicious remark about an individual she encountered online, going as far as to derogatory language and baseless accusation, including referring the individual as a hooker and verbally abusing the individual with obscenities. It goes on to say, what makes the incident even more alarming is that this is not an isolated event. Ms. Joseph has a history of engaging similar behavior on social media platforms where she has repeatedly demonstrated a flagrant disregard for the principles of professionalism and respect that are expected for all public service or service officers. Such behavior is in direct violation of Section 51 of the Service Regulation Order, which explicitly states that officers must conduct themselves in a manner that upholds the dignity of the public service and does not bring it into disrepute. Moreover, as a senior officer within the considerable experience, Ms. Joseph should be fully cognizant of the rules and regulations governing the conduct of public servants. Section 60, subsection 1 of the SRO explicitly prohibits officers in making personal comments on matters national, local, political, and administrative significance without prior authorization. The evidence of Ms. Joseph's misconduct is refutable all right, refutable, sorry, as evidenced by a numerous objection, posts and comments she has made on various social media platforms. All right, it is inappropriate that the Public Service Commission conduct carry out a thorough investigation into the matter and take appropriate disciplinary action in accordance with the provision outlined in the SRO. All right, maintaining the integrity and credibility of the public service is paramount important, and is essential that swift and decisive action be taken to address instances of misconduct such as this. By holding Ms. Joseph accountable for her action and imposing appropriate disciplinary measure, the Public Service Commission will send a clear message that such behavior will not be tolerated. I implore that you address this matter with urgency and seriousness it deserves, and to take necessary steps to ensure the reputation and standard of the Public Service Commission remain untarnished. Goes on to say thank you. Thank you, your attention to this matter. Sincerely, a concerned citizen. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was posted on Facebook. And this is before today's incident. Ladies and gentlemen, this is before today's incident, because again today, while the GBN Beyond the Head, the program was going on this morning with the both parliamentary representatives, she again was below the post making statements. And the thing about it, I am not saying that what she's saying may not be factual. And mind you, this is my stance is not whether or not it is the truth. This here is not whether or not what she's saying and the grounds in which she stands on is firm. But at the end of the day, there should be information as a public servant that you need to just remain silent about. There are things that you don't get yourself involved in, and you heard the person mentioned somewhere or higher up here as it relates to section 60 subsection 1 of the SRO explicitly prohibits officers from making personal comments on matters of national, local, political and administrative significance without prior authorization. So if it means that Miss Joseph wants to be part of the public service or the public relation within the Ministry of Health, I think then give her the work. Somebody's asking whether or not I can take phone calls. I can. However, if you call me on 536-5843, that would be on my WhatsApp. I would be able to get it. Let me just ensure that I enable it in my notifications. Yes, so if you do call me, even if I miss the call and you're calling for the program, but you can call me on 536-5843. That's only on WhatsApp. Only on WhatsApp. So you can call me. Right? So ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter does not base on whether or not what Miss Joseph could be saying something. She has facts about it. Well, you may have your stance. And I'm certain there are many other persons within the public service that may believe to themselves, watch me, I support the National Democratic Congress, I support the New National Party, and I can defend them on that stance. I can defend them, I can say that they're doing a good job or whatever. But at the end of the day, based on the job that you're doing, ladies and gentlemen, you ought to be extra careful. Understand what public service gives. I think the word public service or public servant speaks for itself. When an individual says they are a public servant, that speaks for itself. The service to public should be one that you take a significant stance on. I remember in 2008 when the National Democratic Congress would have won the general election. And let me just take, I believe somebody's trying to call in. Just hold, please. Hello, good afternoon. You're tuned in to the Class in Session program. How may I be of your assistance today?
Yeah, brother. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm pleasant. Good afternoon. I'm all right.
Yeah. The topic that you're on with the public servant that seems to be on all social media. Now, that particular person was also in some melee, and before the melee, actually going against the president of the Public Workers Union, who is Mr. Brian Grimes. That individual was actually in a clique trying to oust the president, Brian Grimes, right? They went and they booed him. Right. I saw them. I was there. Right? So what is happening with this particular individual? The PSC has to look into this because, mind you, that person is not a normal citizen, and they are in health, which is a very important sector in Grenada. They are in health. They're not a ministry like in a ministry complex where they can say a little thing and get away with it. Right. They're in health, and the wording that was being used today, and what I've been seeing from past posts, that is rather alarming, and the PSC alongside the union needs to talk to that person, right? This is not a private citizen, and don't come and compare us to America and say freedom of speech. No, freedom of speech have consequences. Freedom of speech is not freedom of expression. Wars has been started for speaking, for a war has been started. So this young lady has to be very, very careful, and because you support a party doesn't give you the right to chastise people under public posts based on your job. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. And you see, that's the point. That is the point, you know. And it's simple like that. And I like the caller bringing that fact. This is not somebody that you don't see every day. This person's work is actually to provide service to individuals of all walks of Grenada, Carriacou, PD, Martinique. So this does not mean that the individual, okay, she is working in as he said, in some office somewhere, and by 4 o'clock she goes home. This individual is expected to serve green, red, yellow, pink, black, or blue. And my thing about it, you are a public servant and you're on the social media platform. It's like I could do what I want. I could talk about that. And you see, at the end of the day, and the caller spoke about it, freedom of speech. We always get that wrong. We always get that wrong. Because at the end of the day, why you speak freedom of speech when there is offenses like obscene language and insulting language and defamation of character and insultive language? You see, we speak freedom of speech, but at the end of the day, the law gives you a limit, or it still gives you some guidelines as it relates to what freedom of speech is and how to express yourself and who can express themselves. You think if the commissioner of police, an individual who is a nuisance in an area, is killed by an individual, you think the commissioner of police is right for him to come on national television and say, it is good that he died, it is great, that was a very good job done by the person that killed him? No. And he can, because he might be wanting to express himself in that manner, because the individual could have been a nuisance. But at the end of the day, and as the caller said, freedom of speech is not freedom of expression. You may want to speak freely. You may want to say certain things. I want to come on my program and call the Prime Minister all kind of names. But at the end of the day, to me, and I'm not going to compare myself with other talk show hosts, but to me, I would not disrespect the office of the Prime Minister on the basis because I support another political organization. No. And we need to come out of this primitive thinking that we believe that because we don't like the New National Party, we should disrespect Emmeline Pear or Mrs. Emmeline Pear or Miss Skate Lewis or Miss Clarice Modest Cowan or Dr. Michelle. This does not bring political ballots to victory. And that's the reason why some people meet me sometimes and they say, how come you're not talking about Andy and Andy Bongschek and all these things and them? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, that does not change a voter's idea for whom he or she is voting for. So the defamation does not change an electorate's mind. You ought to be able to bring facts to the table in saying, well, he is working in that particular ministry and he or she is failing in that particular ministry. That is going to be the conversation. You came there and you're hearing the baseless conversations. Nothing based on anything else. You just there to defamate. Oh, when all you was there, what all you do? But tell us, well, if they're saying that they give 25% to health, you need to go under the post and say, but NDC gave 45. And that is going to be a conversation to listen to. Not telling them, come out there, and you're making statements below they come out there, all you was there for how much years and all you did nothing. This does not bring justification to the conversation. So the PSC, and listen to me, she's bold. She's bold. But there are others. When they realize that they're not doing anything to her, what do you think that is going to happen? What do you think that, Joseph getting away with that? So somebody somewhere else in some other public service, and that is what you have to do, you know. All you have to do is just set the mark straight. Set the mark straight. Because you have to be able to let every public servant know that what this individual doing is not right. And it's not a tolerable practice. So we need to get that right, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a hatred conversation. As I said, if you're commenting, and even on my program, I always tell persons, an individual comes under my program, they comment something maybe to do with the conversation that I'm having, I'm going to entertain them. But when you come and move there, and this and that, and I don't entertain those things. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense, ladies and gentlemen. And for years, and always remember that, people. Don't go around with an argument and telling people, oh, all you vote for a man that write bounce check and the accused or alleged sexual preference of the Prime Minister. That does not change a man's decision on the day of election. Bring to the individual and individual's facts that you could say, my political organization has done a better job than yours. This is the conversation to bring forward. Not just wanting to defamate an individual or be insulted to an individual or obscene. Because at the end of the day, there's some of us, we don't. So then you're arguing with some people and you're wondering where the conversation going. And I'm talking on both sides of the table. I still don't want to listen to supporters of the New National Party already, and they don't have squat as to what they're talking about. And the individual may have zillion points, and you're just going on and on because you can't bring nothing fruitful to the table. Because you lack the information. You don't know. You don't know. So it don't make sense stand up and you're arguing in the public. NNP and NDC and but you talking on what? What topic? What are we talking about? Economics, finances, housing, road. What are we talking about? No, about this and about this and this one this and it takes you no way in giving anybody the opportunity to say, listen to me, let me listen to that man. I listen to that man, no, but you don't thinking about, in truth, NDC didn't give, is not accounting for 25% of the money, $25 million of the budget, and that man talking thing there with facts. An individual may turn and say to himself, by that good thing, you know, let me see if I could give NDC a like a try. Or NNP a like a try. Bring facts or conversations that would intrigue the mind of an individual. You can't continue to hate people on the basis of politics, ladies and gentlemen. And to my supporters of the New National Party especially, take out in your mind your hatred for the individuals that are in administration. Look at the work. Base them on the work that they're doing. Have facts on what we did when we were there. The developments and the different structures. That's what we have to bring to them because they cannot defeat that. As I said last week, Dr. Mitchell's face being presented on the 7th is not something they feel they wanted to do. They could not wake up in the morning and say, we don't feel we're doing that. You feel the people that are there could say, watch out, are in the OSC, we don't feel we go put Dr. Mitchell because we don't have nothing to say about Dr. Mitchell. You can't, they could not have done it. Because it had been paved there. The footsteps are there to show that Dr. Mitchell has done. Why did they put up another prime minister's face? Or some other person in whom they believe should get that recognition? No. Because when you bring facts to them, the facts is there. And that is what we're working on, supporters. That is all we need to work on, you know. Facts. Bringing to them the truth. Bringing to them things they said. And not, oh, I hear that. No. Bring to them facts. That's why you see when the big program are playing clips. Because you see, a few of them, they're of the belief, and let me show you, and maybe not the example because he's my good friend. He's my good friend. But I want to show you what it is that some of them can do. You know? And then you see, it goes in the media because you know why? They're scared. You know, some people afraid to say Kid Mitchell's name. Some people in the media at this stage wants to give Kid Mitchell his kudos, but they can't call him. Let me give you an example.
And I guess the question would answer it because we had two revolutionaries, and whether or not, and I'll open it up, whether tenure qualifies to make the $50 bill.
It's much more than tenure, my brother. It has to do with contributions. Look at the whole of what we used to call Back Street. And if you look at modernizing that area, who is supposed to mostly responsible for that? So it's not just a matter of tenure with great disrespect. If it were tenure, Morris Bishop would not be on the bill.
And that actually is a point, because tenure alone doesn't get one on. And if I am to be the antagonist in this scenario, the person largely responsible for the works of Backstreet is a former Minister of Works, not a former Prime Minister.
You hear that?
All the more reason why the person would have been considered. I'm not making a big issue of that. I am just...
You understand, ladies and gentlemen, you understand just what was just said. Let's grasp from it what was just said. You know, at the end of the day, in every political organization, there is a political leader who becomes prime minister, whom at the end of the day disseminates positions to individuals as to the ministerial positions. So take it to mean sports or youth is doing good now. At the end of the day, we need to praise the youth minister and not the political organization or maybe the prime minister. So you understand what he's saying there? So the changing of Backstreet as he's speaking about, what Mr. Alexis is trying to bring to him is Kid Mitchell. That's what he's saying, you know. He's saying Kid Mitchell did that. Kid Mitchell did Backstreet. You understand me? But he brings it around. He brings it around and he said, no. It's not the prime. It's the minister.
I was sitting there before the third person named Kirani James, I would have been wondering whether it would have been somebody else. When Kirani was named, that put paid to any sort of controversy. In fact, it was a streak of genius to put everybody together. No question about that at all.
Yeah, and I'm like you, because when I heard the three, likewise, I had three in my head, and you know, I guess from the images you could have made a guess, but I do agree with you. It is a reasonable question to ask, and just in witnessing as things unfolded, and if we had to make a guess, then you know there's at least one other name that must have come into play. I don't know if you any gentlemen have any other things to add.
The name just had to call, ladies and gentlemen. Some people in the social, in the media platform, it is hard to say Keith Mitchell. It's difficult. It's a Spanish word. It's only we NNP people that could say it. We alone that could say that word. We alone that could say Keith Mitchell. We know the meaning of that word. The other people, they can't say it. They can't say it. Because at the end of the day, you are recognizing an individual. Right? And you see, I didn't want to, and I don't want to, still don't want to speak about the $50 bill conversation. Because in my opinion, as I said, if Uncle Gary thing, this is not March 13th or October 19th. Give Uncle Gary thing. It's February 7th. We are celebrating independence. And give Uncle Gary thing. We didn't even have to have a debate as it relates to who else should be there and who else should not be there. Give Uncle Gary thing. It's February 7th. 1974, February 7th. He as an individual is who fought for it. And the individual you laid close to him is the person who fought against it. So what are you telling our children? What are you telling our children? That today you could fight against something and tomorrow you can be praised for it as equal as the person who gained it? Because the history would show you that the individual who stood, who is standing now and getting recognition along with Uncle Gary is the person who fought against what Uncle Gary wanted. So how are we to now at this stage be praising the same two people at the same time who fought for nearly the different things? These two persons fought for two different things. So how can you be praising both of them at the same time? One individual stood and fought for its independence. The other one said, "This to me, I don't want to get no independence." And today, 50 years later, we're praising the person who said they did not want it. And today we're telling our children that is the two persons that we're recognizing on our bill for our 50th independence. I am not saying that later on, and that's what I'm saying. It is a 50th year of celebration. You could have waited for March 13th and October 19th to unveil those things. Don't thief Uncle Gary's spotlight now. Don't thief Uncle Gary's spotlight. Give Uncle Gary thing alone. Dr. Mitchell don't even have to be there. If you want to give him something, give him for what date is Ivan, because that is what you all basically recognize him the night of, after the development, for the development after Ivan. So recognize him. They give him a $20 bill for when we celebrating Ivan. Because that is how you have to make it see. Uncle Gary alone should have been recognized for this. And I don't put him in mountain back to say this. Uncle Gary and his Uncle Gary alone. We don't need no Keith Mitchell, we need no Morris Bishop, we need no H.A. Blaze, we need no Tillman Thomas. We needed Uncle Gary's recognition. That's all we needed. Because you can't go telling children now, somebody ask you, mommy or daddy, why these two men, why did they? And you say to the child, this one is the father of independence, and then the other one, what he is, mommy? Oh, he overthrew Gary. That is not something contradictory to a child. Think about it for yourself. Try explaining what I'm saying to yourself at this stage, and see if February 7th is a time to have recognized this. Give him March 13, October, them down there. Yeah. There was no reason for that. You're confusing a child now because you're telling a child, this man fought for independence, right? This man fought for independence and he gained independence. This man overthrew him to get control of the country. And the child will ask me, mommy, how come both of them, any intelligent child is going to ask that? Like, how come we recognizing both of them now in February 7th because he didn't want independence? Come on, think about it for yourself. Go in your own capacity as an individual and think about it. Why? I'm not saying that the dear brother should not be recognized. The timing is wrong. That's all I'm saying. Because it goes on to also speaking as it relates to him being a part of the signing of the treaty for us to be a part of the Eastern Caribbean dollar or the Eastern Caribbean Bank. And so this recognition could be given to him in March 13th and October going down there. But to recognize him now, February 7th, it's controversial. It's mind-boggling. It's like, why are we doing this now? What is the purpose of doing this? Right? So you see, and as I said, and the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, this is not political confusion. This is not political confusion. These facts. It sounds controversial to any individual that you try to explain it to. It will sound controversial. Because at the end of the day, of paramount importance, we are recognizing the independence honor, and then you have the individual standing right by him who fought against it. So a man gained independence, and in the time that he had to bask in his glory, you recognizing the man who fought against him the same time to have gained the independence. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. And on my program, I will always say this. I'm not often, not often being here. And I'm happy for the persons who do follow me. Because I am one of the persons who try my utmost best that when I come on my program, I can give you information. I can make sure you're knowledgeable. I am not going to be contradictory. I'm going to be open and honest. Because at the end of the day, there is no need for propaganda in this conversation. Because history is there to show. History is there to show. So we need not to be controversial about this. When I come here and I come to give you information, we're not speaking as it relates to in no way define, like being defiant, right, to Maurice Bishop. And no way. We're not trying to be in any way defiant to him. We are saying that based on celebrating, because it's a 50, and then you see, I think that I heard the conversation where they say that for the rest of the year, there are going to be independence activity. Right? And this is what I'm saying. This is a 50th year of celebration. 50th year. So everything is to be spectacular. Every national event should be spectacular. And March 13th, 1974, we knew what happened. And so if you want to recognize our dear Prime Minister Maurice Bishop in his overthrowing of the government, so be it. You get the $50 bill, 100, 20, 10, 5. But you see, we must render to Caesar what is Caesar. You can take that away, and that's why I mentioned the Dr. Mitchell. You can take that away. Hurricane Ivan, El Malik, COVID-19, the whole evolution of Grenada in its 22 years of service. You can't run away from that. The fight to independence need to go solely to Eric Matthew. Understanding the pinning, well, I didn't see it. Somebody said to me in the pinning, he spoke about pinning somebody else, and he called up, I think, Maurice Bishop's family and something of that nature. But that I didn't see, so I didn't want to, go on with the conversation any further. Right? So we need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, the importance, ever so often, the importance of governance. You can, and you see, Dr. Mitchell said you had to come in a training school. we took it like a joke. We took it like a joke. Right? So there are so much controversy. So somebody telling me on WhatsApp, right? So much controversy surrounding both individuals. And I'm not saying that the both individuals can't be recognized, but I'm just saying they should not be placed under the same spotlight. All right? My next conversation is, and I wish, I haven't seen it, and I don't know how come we haven't caught it as yet, but I would try to get my hands on it, where our dear brother, Orlando Romaine would have made public information concerning some $10,000 he mentioned that was disseminated to every constituency in Grenada. I don't know how many of you all would have heard it. I think there is some information somewhere. Let me see if I see it so I can read it. I didn't see the actual post. But however, I think some of you all may have an idea as to what I'm talking about. But however, our dear brother Orlando Romaine, right, would have gone to speak on certain things, and he even mentioned, as it relates to, in his words, he said, I will say the overall intent for that release was to ensure that the celebration activities were the focus on the particular day and that no other permits will be granted for events that usually requires a permit, Roman said during the question and answers segment of the news conference called by the NOC on the 9th of February. Right? So Brother Romaine, who is not a minister of government and is part of the National Organization Committee, he basically said, I would say overall the intent release was to ensure that the celebration activities were the focus on that particular day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is high-handed. This is use of power. I know during the carnival that there are regulations that governs the carnival season and the Spice Mass Corporation. But however, I'm in deep investigation whether or not the NOC, National Organization Committee, had any legal footings over the RGPF during this year's celebration. Because I don't think that there was independence regulation. And I don't know whether or not Parliament would have made any form of legislation to govern or gives the NOC that level of governing rights to say to persons whether or not amplified music must come from them. I know that the RGPF are the usual persons only around carnival time. They give that right to the Spice Mass Corporation. But however, ladies and gentlemen, it has been new to me, and as I said, I stand in ignorance as to whether or not during that time that the NOC had any legislative footings in terms of giving the RGPF such an instruction. Because I don't know from whom the instruction came also. So I want to ensure that I'm recorded correctly. That I don't know from whom the instruction came. Right? And I believe the only office to really do that is the office of the Office of National Security, or the Minister of National Security, which is the Prime Minister. So I don't know if the Prime Minister would have given that instruction. Also, I understand on the NOC that the Commissioner sits as a member. So I don't know if the intent or the agreement was made by all and sundry that was there. You understand me? So, but however, it seems like the instruction, or how it comes across, is that the instruction came from the NOC to the RGPF. And I don't know what level of legislation that gives the NOC such rights. As I said, I am ignorant as to whether or not that is so. All right? Please get me correctly. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. There are times when things are happening, you have to, what old people say? Give me the right thing. I want to get the right thing when I say it. But anyway, you could pick sense from nonsense. For our Minister of Implementation has gotten rather quiet, knowing that even before the independence, he was so intrigued of beautification and development in beautifications. Surprisingly, I find during such a time when he should have been in full bloom, somebody would have muzzled him. I don't know. I just find our Minister of Implementation got rather quiet, maybe tired. Let's give him that. But however, it seems like the guy came from nowhere. The guy from Orlando Magics. And he have taken all the spotlight away from the Minister of Implementation. All you pick sense out of nonsense. He's like all the spotlight that was on the Minister of Implementation. The guy that used to play for Magics, Orlando Magics, seems like he just come and he take all the spotlight away from all the work that was being done by the Minister of Implementation. And so the Minister of Implementation has gotten very quiet. Let us keep our eyes on that. Tropical depression. At this stage, it has very few overcast and, slight showing of hefty weather and clouds. And we just want to ensure that persons are indoors when or if it gets into a category 1. So I just want us to pay attention to that that tropical depression that is storing out there in the Atlantic. But pay attention to it. I don't know how many of you have observed it, but I realize that our Minister of Implementation has gotten very quiet. Very, very quiet. But let us keep let us keep looking at that tropical depression out there, because we don't want it to do anything. We don't want it to do anything at all to our island, right? So we do know that he is presently the acting Prime Minister, and sometimes, even if your mother leave you in charge, or sometimes when they leave you in charge, you still have somebody in the class you can't talk to her. When the teacher leave you in class sometime, yeah, some people in the class, they disrespectful. You can't. Grenada for sale. Somebody say MOI has seen what happened to Ron Header and he's taking no chances. Well, the thing about that, dear brother, the Minister of Clothespin, the online minister, realize I've never seen him in uniform, so I don't know if school closed. But can anyone let him know that this classroom here is doing registration this coming Friday? let him know he can come into this classroom. He can get registered. All he needs is the sales for the vehicle, a proof of ID, and 2 pieces of let him know that all he needs to work with is the proof that he did sell the vehicle, the proof that he did sell the vehicle, and 2 pieces of ID, and a recent pay slip. Some people saying they don't want him in. Some people still don't want him in the class. No, 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 no. He's going to get the opportunity to be part of such an intelligent class. He's a lot of intelligent students here. So, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure again being in your company. As per usual, it is never a dull moment here with us on this program. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, out there, to the persons that are out there, Sailors Promotion presents Bingo Night and Dance this Saturday. We are at the Big Yard, alright? Come win yourself $15,000 in cash and prizes. Make a special effort to be there. $20 get your ticket. Event starts at 3 p.m. and bingo starts at 6. Remember, this time there will be eats and drinks on sale, so be there. I want to say good evening to my good brother Charles. I hope everything is alright with you. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe someone in the back take my 10K. We're going to talk about the 10K. We had the 10K conversation coming up. I think there is more. I really want the clip. I really want the clipping when he said it, because I didn't see it. So I don't just want to speak on it. Right? I want to ensure that, I have it in hand, where he spoke about the $10,000 that somebody messaged me to tell me. Somebody said to me, Prime Minister Dick and Mitchell gone to St. Kitts again. For a man that traveling so much, the aviation system in Grenada is so bad, and I have to touch on that. I think the people at the airport and other places, I think they're really at a point where they're asking for persons to engage them in those areas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it, as I said, is always a pleasure to be here with you guys. It is never a dull moment. And so I want to extend to persons that there will be no program tomorrow. I will be at the Happy Hill Secondary School Sports doing commentary at that sports meet that would be held at the Busheju playing field. So I would be out there doing commentary for them tomorrow. And so, it's a whole day session, and you wouldn't get full me tomorrow if I come here at 6 o'clock. All right, that if the sports finish that time. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure being here with you guys. To everyone that has made a special effort to be part of today's program, I want to say thank you for being here. I know somebody just asked me about my daughter and her recovery process. My daughter is recovering nicely. After the surgery, she really did have some antagonizing pain from the insertion, and so she's healing nicely. She's been doing her dressing and her meds and so on. It's just a matter of healing, and then the therapy part of it starts. I do pray that everything goes well with her in terms of being my lovely little vibrant daughter that I knew. All right, she's presently on bed rest because the too much movements they are trying to avoid her from it. But as I said, she is healing nicely, and I'm certain she would have loved to say good evening to you guys. I wonder what she's doing, and I'm certain if I put her on the spot, she might say, "Oh, Daddy, what are you doing?" Let me see if I could get her on the program to maybe say something to you guys. I don't know whether or not she would answer. It is ringing. I don't think she's paying any attention to her father this evening. I can't believe that I'm calling on. She's not answering me. Hey. Leila.
Hi.
Hi, good evening. I'm on the program. Would you like to say good evening to the persons on the program?
Yes.
Well, say good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
All right.
How are you doing?
All right. And how you feeling?
I'm good. I'm just laying down here.
All right, then. All right. So persons were asking about you. So I said, let me give you a call while I'm on the program to say hi. And there are persons who did help you. So you could say thanks to them if you wish.
Yes. I thank you for the Thank you, Buggy, for helping me do the surgery I'm going to. I didn't even know what was happening. So,
Okay. All right. So I just want to say hi. Many persons are saying hi to you, and they're hoping that you're healing nicely. All right.
yes, die.
All right. So from everybody, they're saying good evening, and they hope that you heal well. All right. Daddy will be home shortly.
Yes.
All right. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye. Yeah. So I know I caught her in a bad time. Okay, hold on. Somebody's speaking about. Somebody saying RIP to a young child that died from the fire. That was when. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, it really was a pleasure. It is never. Um, yeah, she's really wanting to do so much, but she can't because she just want to walk. And I'm like, you can't do certain things, yet, because she really wants to, she wants to get around. She doesn't want to. Yesterday, I just surprised her and I brought her up to our school really quickly and then brought her back home, just to get the experience of just being around her friends again. And she was like, Daddy, I don't want to go. But such is life, I just, pray if, when they explained to me the pain that child would have been having, she must be a brave little girl, right? So again, thank you to everybody, and it's just God's work. He's the author and finisher of our faith, and I'm just praying that everything works well with her, and with us, in whatever we do. And extended from my home to yours, thank you guys so much, and the persons who call, the persons who still continue to text and so on, thank you guys so very much. Sherry and Collins, I must say hi and good evening to you. All right, God blessings to you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll see again on Thursday. From March month, not from January, not for this month. From March month, we would be moving the program to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Reason being, we are now trying to accommodate persons to view the our Dear Sisters program. Sister name is not coming to mind. Sister Jenny's program, Jenny Simon's program, right? I know many persons have shared the sentiment that she do have some intriguing information that sometimes she wants to share, right? And so we really want to give you guys the opportunity. You see, political information is important to us, right? We all won't speak on the same thing. And Sister Jenny's program is one. Sometimes I take a little recap of it, but Sister Jenny's program is very informative, right? And there are things that sometimes we may be elaborative on, and she would also be elaborative on, but sometimes you hear she has the factual documentations of certain things, and so we like that. And so myself, along with my technical team, we have had the conversation, but we would make such changes. We would inform you guys, and so starting in the month of March, we would move the program to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. All right. So have a blessed evening, ladies and gentlemen. God's blessings to each and every one of you. I love you guys as much as I love myself, and I want God to continue to protect each and every one of you. Have yourself a blessed evening. All right. God blessings. This is yours truly, Royalty James, signing out for another wonderful program for this afternoon. All right.
Well, we've got the solution. Use Nut Magic Pain Reliever today and feel the pain fade away. Nut Magic Pain Reliever is produced right here in Grenada by Black Gold Enterprise and can be used for the relief of sore muscle, joint pain, cramps, backaches, arthritis, and other related symptoms. It's magic in a bottle. You can find Nut Magic Pain Reliever at major pharmacies and supermarkets on the island. Call or WhatsApp Black Gold Enterprise at 458-1330. Look for Nut Magic Pain Reliever on Facebook and on Instagram. Or send us an email at bgegrenada@gmail.com. Get yours today and say goodbye to pain. It's magic in a bottle.
It's magic.
Fix your clothes. Come on. Ba-ba-da-ba. You gotta dance, you know. I hear hopes I see show here am I. I say, who you calling by me? I see Robin Gopal and Vasley. Rankila one sing and Dolce. Bagwan didn't sing crying like a baby. Ram sing Thomas and Sankarali. I dreamt I met these 9 men on that road. They tell me tell the public in case they go. They say he did pay we to kill Errol Spencer. He did pay we to talk to Escobar. All them drug money we give UNC. You know they come back and arrest the hangman on we. They did pay we more than 90,000 to get rid of Selwyn Richardson. But now he controls the law, so you ring the bell. But we're waiting for him, but be sure he coming in hell. And we go grab it, and we go stab it. We waiting patiently to get in trouble. We go choke his penis with a needle, and we go lock him. Get man no Benjamin to. All them wicked things they're planning to do, because they say they sure you did kill people too. I jump out my bed like a madman when I hear the information. I pick up my pen and say, Coco, you have to put this in Kaiser. But then I study slander and I study libel because they mention the attorney general. But then I tell myself, Crooks, you slate clean, cause you simply reporting a dream. They say he did pay we to shoot and kill his head. He did pay we to make sure Orwin King dead. He is one of the most wicked men that we know, responsible for more than half the men in death row. He did tell we if we kill Clint Hawkins someday, he assure we bound to get away. But now we get big and swell, so you ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in hell. And we go woo him, and we go screw him. We going to make him ball for weekdays and nights. Then he go know the wrong things for human rights. And we go pull him. Then we go. All them wicked things they say they go do, because they say they sure you did kill people. They say crooks, we know we do plenty, but crooks tell the public for we. Tell them that we're terribly sorry for the Babulal family. But is he who encouraged me to do this? Is he used to say to kill the witness? I beg in all you, be careful with the chief, cause the Apola is worse than the thief. He defend we when PNM was there. Soon as they slipped through, he throw we away. Since the days of Rama and the Fruit King, all them in jacket and tie now, them was dealing. The girl they find dead in the car, trunk by God's city. Cooks tell the public, we know it was he. Morasi never well, he cannot see well, so we waiting for him. The show he coming in hell, and we go scream him, and we go rape him. All the wrong things he do, he's bound to regret. He ought to know that there is life after death, and we go vibes him, circumcise him. Big thing he do, you make him do, because they say they sure you did kill people.